What is the most popular tour place in Jerusalem?
What place? Western Wall.
Western Wall. That's the tour place that you don't have to pay money. Which touring spot that you pay for is the most popular in Jerusalem?
Oh, Masada?
In Jerusalem.
Oh, in Jerusalem, sorry.
Most popular touring destination by money, by fee that you have to pay for in Jerusalem. What do you think?
In David City?
I don't know what's in the last 2 years, but a few years ago, I didn't have a chance to check it today. A few years ago, it was, you'll not believe it, but you should believe it. The Jerusalem Biblical Zoo.
Biblical Zoo.
There is a biblical zoo in Jerusalem. You ever heard about it?
No.
Okay. Gan HaChayot HaTanachi, the biblical zoo. First of all, why I was thinking about that. Why is this connecting, bringing people together? You know, zoo is good for everybody. For Jews and for non, for tall and for short, for children, for adults. Everybody loves to go to the zoo. Everybody agrees and enjoys the animals just alike. No argument, no discussion. The line is a line, and everything is the same. Then this is the most popular. Why it's called the biblical zoo? Because they try to preserve every animal that appears in the Bible. Where in the Bible is the first time names of animals are mentioned?
Adam.
Yeah, which names?
Well,
Where in the Bible names of animals are mentioned? Many names, not one.
I mean, with Noah.
Noah.
Noah, then.
Your names of animals? Which names?
2 pairs now.
Well,
Names?
Lions.
Lions.
Got to be with the sacrifices.
Where is the
Our
first?
Parshah.
Our Parshah, guys.
What's our Parshah?
Our Parshah. Our Parshah is Vayechi. In the Parshah of this week, Jacob, before he died, he calls all of his children and he tells them, I want to bless you. And he starts to bless them. He starts to bless Reuven and Shimon and Levi. Not so much of a blessing, more of a kind of a
Insult.
reprimand. But then he comes to Judah. What he tells Judah,
you're like a lion.
he compares Judah to a lion. Gur Aryeh Yehuda. Why he compares Judah to a lion?
He's a fighter.
That's one.
The king.
The king. So,
King of the
and a
jungle.
lion,
King of the jungle.
king of the beast. Is the lion. Judah is supposed to be the king of the Jewish people. From Judah will come out the kings of the Jewish people, from David all the way to the Messiah. Even, not only, as we spoke last week, not only the kings are from the tribe of Judah, from the house of David, even later, after kings were over, after the Jews were exiled, in Babylon, they used to appoint, in Israel and in Babylon, they tried to make sure to appoint as the leader of the Jewish people somebody from the house of David. Always. Hillel, from Hillel the elder, you know the Hillel houses in every campus. Hillel, from Hillel, 15 generations were leaders from the house of David. Then that's why Jacob compares Judah to a lion. There is another tribe is compared to an animal. Who is the next tribe you compare to an animal?
Joseph.
Joseph is
Before Joseph?
Dan.
Before Dan? Issachar. Issachar is compared
Bonnie ass.
to a donkey. Bony donkey. To a donkey, chamor. You know, to be compared to a lion is one thing. Compared to a donkey, nobody wants to compare. You know what you call a donkey? And Issachar was the tribe of the scholars. There is between Issachar and Zebulun, it's a known business deal. Zebulun was the businessman. They will support the scholars, Issachar, and Issachar will learn Torah, and part of the merit of the learning Torah will go on the credit of Zebulun. That Issachar are the scholars, and they're compared to a donkey. Why that compared to a donkey? What's unique about a donkey?
Hold a big burden.
Another big burden,
Slow.
Strong boned and
strong bond,
Stubborn.
stubborn,
The shape.
but accepting yoke, just doing his past to do, not complaining, not
And they
kvetching,
don't slip
not rebelling.
Right.
Donkeys don't rebel. The Jewish scholar, the rabbis, the Jew in general has to have Kabbalah Torah, accepting the yoke of the Torah, carrying on his shoulder the burden of the yoke of the Torah, learning the Torah. And if you're talking about rabbis and more than even that, judges, Jewish judges, dayanim, they have to, a donkey can go sometimes on a very narrow
Yeah.
pit and not to fall. He has a whole load on top of him and he's going. Sometimes rabbis have to go walk a very narrow bridge. It's like a thread. It has to be according to Jewish law. On the other hand, you try to not alienate as many, as little as you can, include as many Jews as you can and try to make it as acceptable as possible. It's a very, very narrow bridge. Then Issachar is compared to a donkey. Who is the next? Who is
Joseph
compared
is the ox.
to a
Joseph
The
ox.
order was
no, before that,
Gad.
Dan.
Dan's a serpent.
Dan is compared to a serpent. Oh, yeah. Then it's going from bad to worse.
Judge.
Why is Dan compared to a serpent? What is good about a serpent?
Like a rattlesnake.
Why we call a person who is
Snake.
a snake? Why we call him a snake? Because the Torah says, in the beginning, in the story with Adam and Eve, what the Torah said about the snake?
Bite him in the heel.
And the snake was cunning, right? V'anachash haya arum. The snake was cunning. That's what the Torah gives him a compliment. That's who he is. That's description. And what does this mean in the story of Dan? In the story of Dan, it means Dan, one of the greatest biblical judges who came out from Dan, who was he?
Samson.
Samson and Delilah. We all know the story about Samson and Delilah. Samson used to fight the Philistines. But how he did it in a cunning way. He never went and says, let's go to war. He used to come on the back at night and cut and beat them up and run away and disappear. And they didn't know what to think even. They were so scared of it, from which side is going to attack them. That's why Dan is compared to a snake. That he attacked the enemies of the Jewish people in a cunning way, like a snake.
Where were they based? Was that in the northwest or was it the northeast?
Dan is in the north.
It's in the
Tel
north.
Dan is in the north, sure in the north. Yeah.
Is it
But if
more towards
northwest
the
or
coast?
northeast, I'm not so good in geography. You're asking me the wrong question.
Well, I mean, it's not over by Golan. It's over on the other side, right?
I don't know exactly.
Because they were fighting the Philistines, so that would have been
Yes.
closer to the
You
water.
can check online where is Tel Dan, and you'll know.
Is Dan also compared to a judge?
Judge.
Judge, he's also
might
the
be back when
judge.
Art's
He's also the
fault,
judge.
Not I know. That's Dean. Dean, it's a whole different story. The next one to be compared to a animal is Naphtali.
Gazelle.
Naphtali is compared to a gazelle. A gazelle is a deer. Why is Naphtali compared to a deer?
Very swift.
It's very swift. Where we needed is swiftness. Where he needed to be to Rosh.
He needed to get the paperwork in Egypt.
He needed to. But when he did, then the Medrash says something very interesting. Targum Yenasom Ben Uziel, there is a Jerusalem translation to the Bible in Aramaic. There is two translations of the Bible to Aramaic. One we have right here. If you look on the Hebrew side, this is in Hebrew, this is in Aramaic. On the side, the north column, the narrow column. And there is another translation it's called the Jerusalem named after Yonatan ben Uziel. A Jerusalem, it's called Targum Yerushalmi, a Jerusalem translation. He says there, it's more commentary. He says there that when they discovered, and Joseph told them, that is Joseph. They wanted to rush to tell the father Jacob was mourning that Joseph is alive. Naphtali was the one who ran and came first to bring, he was the barrier of good news. He brought the good news. Then there is the other story when Jacob wanted to be buried. Esau came and he said that the spot in the cave of Machpelah belongs to him, and Naphtali wanted to rush to bring they told, well, it belongs to him, he said, because he's the firstborn. If I'm the firstborn, I'm the first one to be buried in the cave of Machpelah. But they told him, but you sold your birthright. He says, no, I didn't. He said, we have it in writing. Where is the writing? The writing is in Egypt. The papers is in Egypt. The contract is in Egypt. And Naphtali was about to run to Egypt to bring it. But then it was solved in a different way. Then we'll go to Benjamin. Benjamin is compared
To a wolf.
to a wolf. Why is Benjamin compared to a wolf?
Tears his prey in the morning. Whatever that
Because
means.
there is a story about Benjamin. The tribe of Benjamin, right after Joshua led the Jews into the land of Israel, there is a very sad story. And basically, we're not going into all details, was a war between the tribe of Benjamin and the rest of the Jewish tribe. It was a civil war. Jews against Jews. 70,000 people died. That's what they say. That's written in the Bible. Terrible. And the other tribes are so angry with the tribe of Benjamin that they made an oath that nobody should ever give his daughter to the Benjaminites. The war was over. They discovered that the Benjaminites do not have any girls there. There is a few boys. If nobody will give his daughter, the whole tribe will be, before long, will disappear from the Jewish people. They didn't want that the whole tribe should be disappearing. Then they came up with an idea. They told them, on one end, they swore they will not give their daughters to Benjaminites. On the other end, they want it to happen. Somebody has to get married with them. They told them, here is what you should do. In Shiloh, at that time, used to be a party. The girls used to go out and dance once a year. Chag LaHashem b'Shiloh. There is a holiday for the Jews, a holiday season in Shiloh, and the girls used to go out and dance. And he told the guys of Benjamin, you go and grab the girls. Usually, in normal, you come to ask the father of the bride if you give permission. They cannot give permission, but you can grab them. We never said yes. You grab them. And we never broke our promise, but you will have who to marry. Then because a wolf is attacking, is preying the other animals, that's why they are compared to the wolves. Now, the Jewish people, which are the tribes that survived by now? Which tribe survived? Judah and Benjamin.
They were the southern
The
kingdom.
other 10 tribes are lost. The 10 lost tribes, right? Now, most of the Jews today in the world, which kind of animals live in the houses? Dogs and cats. Dogs come from the family
Wolves.
of the wolves, and the cats come from the family
The
of the lions. Right?
That's funny. It's interesting.
Now, maybe that's how we're going to know who is from the tribe of Benjamin and who is from the tribe of Judah.
Whose dog, whose
If you love dogs, you're from the tribe of Judah, of Benjamin. If you love cats, you're from the tribe of Judah. But there is one more tribe that survived. Which tribe survived besides this?
Levi.
The Levites. Who are the Levites today?
Cohen.
Who are the Cohen? Who represents the Cohen and the Levites today? The rabbis. The rabbis are those who are afraid of dogs and don't like cats. That's how you know where I'm coming from, the Levites. But the job is to make from everybody Levites. You need to make sure that, what is a Levite? A Levite is a man who dedicates his life for God. My mother decided that not only every Jew can become a Levite and a Cohen, every human being, if he makes God's business his business, can become is as holy as a Cohen. He's not becoming a Cohen. He cannot serve in the temple, but he's as holy and as close to God as a Cohen.
The kingdom of priests, right?
Kingdom of priests.
Mhm.